Okay, you want to know something weird? Whenever we're asleep and I have a nightmare, it comforts me to just reach over and just like put my hand on Lisa. It could be her head, shoulder, whatever. Just knowing that she's there makes me sleep better. Well, apparently in Germany, I wouldn't be able to do that because they have two twin beds that they push together, two separate duvets, everything. And I guess there's a lot more interesting things that happen inside of a German home. That's what we're going to be taking a look at here today. It's called How Germans Actually Live Inside Their Homes. No one tells you this. And this is by Our Gabled Home. Link will be down below. Head on over, support their channel. So this is going to be interesting. I did learn, we watched a German video before. I believe that when you go into a German household, you better not stand up if you have to take a leak. Sit down. And so I started incorporating that. I didn't always do that, but it's something that I do now, especially in the evening, in the nighttime. If I'm, doing a little middle of the night relievage action. That's not a word. I just made that up. All right. Anyway, before we get going here, go ahead and like the video. Let's see what we can see.
Inside German homes, nobody shares a duvet. Nobody has a top sheet. And their recycling system has more bins than any American cabinet. I should know because I was born in Germany, raised in Germany, lived there until my mid-20s, and I live in the US now, but I constantly visit my family and friends. By the end of this video, you will understand why some of these things may make a lot more sense than meets the eye.
Okay, that's good. This top sheet thing. I remember I did one of these, compilation videos where Americans are learning things about Europe, and one of the people, a lady, was complaining about no top sheet. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to say that, but maybe she's going to tell us.
Take you on a tour and to show you how Germans really live inside their homes.
Now, I wanted to talk about German beds because this is very different from what we may have been used in the US.
Yes, that's different than what I'm used to. Okay, twin beds.
Even if you have a big bed that would be a queen size bed or a king size bed in the United States, in Germany, you have two different mattresses. I'm going to show you that right here. There's two different mattresses, and yes, there's a gap in the middle. It just is so. And while that may be a little bit different, if you're trying to sleep as a couple, you're going to have to navigate that gap. But on the other hand, you can have one that's firmer and one that's not so firm.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you could actually, a lot of beds have a, where the head is, you can actually tilt that up so you can read. And as a result, you have two separate duvet covers.
Okay. I can get down with that because Lisa be taking the blanket. I mean, and see, okay, there's a little something about our household, our bed at least. Like, I need the bed to be, like, I can't get in the bed and have, like, crinkled sheets or the blanket just piled on me. Like, I need it to be, like, I've been known in the middle of the night, like, this just doesn't feel right. I'll get up and, like, remake the bed because I have to feel good when I'm laying down. Lisa, on the other hand, does not give a damn. Really, she does not care. She will lay down and just put the blanket on her like forehead. Like, she don't care. She will just lay down anywhere, mess up the blanket, sleep, roll up in the blanket. Usually when I roll over, I have to like lift the blanket up, roll over so I don't mess it up, and then put the blanket back down. I mean, Lisa roll over with the blanket. Anyway, that's probably more information than you need to know, but I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was funny.
People don't have top sheets. They have fitted sheets, yes, but they don't have top sheets. They only have duvet covers, and the duvets are often not very big down duvets like in the United States. Sometimes they are. Older generations tend to have down duvets. These are wool, and they are folded like this. And that is how Germans sleep. I know that oftentimes it's called sleep divorce because you're not really covered by one big blanket, by two separate blankets, and it's what the Swedes do. And the other thing is that people they only have one mattress. They don't have a box spring, and the beds tend to be much lower. So that's one difference. And then also the pillows tend to be really big square pillows like this, and you can fold them if you want, but the smaller, bigger ones that we know from the US, Germans don't have.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. I could use that because I have some, man, when we moved here to Granada, I don't know what, like, I can't even go. I guess I'm going pretty good, but usually not because I just had one night where just mess up everything in my neck. So I could probably use that. That's interesting.
So you find this in hotels, you find this in people's homes, and it is a little bit different than what you may have been used from the United States.
Okay.
I also spent some time at my cousin's house, and here's a single mattress on the floor with that huge big pillow. I'm making the bed, trying to be a guest that they would like to have again, and folding my duvet just lengthwise, just like that. And that is how German beds are made. Kind of different from US beds.
Oh, wow. That's super easy. I could do that. Usually I have to I take the comforter, we call it. I take the comforter off, tuck in my sheet, then put the other thing, I can make a bed.
Most Germans don't have a walk-in closet. They do have these huge wardrobes where they put all their clothes. Sometimes they
What'd I say?
these huge wardrobes where they put all their clothes. Sometimes they pile a few next to each other along the wall. But walk-in closets are practically unknown. And you would know this because if you were to go to your next IKEA store, you can see that they are selling these wardrobes, or I think they're also sometimes called armoires, and they are basically producing for the European market, but they're also selling them in the US. And yep, that's just the way it is over there. Interesting and different. If you've been in some homes, you may have seen a Schrankwand, which is really interesting. And that is essentially the armoire idea or the wardrobe idea just in your living room.
Yeah, she said, because the other one was Schleider Schrank. She said Schrankwand or something.
They are a bunch of cabinets just next to each other. Sometimes they're really fitted to the wall, and sometimes they're just stacked next to each other. This is actually in one of the homes where we lived, and yes, that's called a Schrankwand.
Shut up.
Now in a different house, I told you that Germans like to have a Windfang, some room where you enter the house, but you're not really in the house. And this home here is another example of that. You come in the front door, you can't really look inside because there's a bit of frosted glass here.
Okay.
But then you're in a what we call Flur or Windfang, and that is where all the shoes live. People take their shoes off in their home and they put on slippers, and from there you can probably access a what we call Gäste-WC. It's a small half bathroom only for guests. Some people have a hidden coat closet and some people have it more open, and from there you can enter the other rooms of the house.
I like the leaving your shoes out. Here in Spain, that's not really a thing. I mean, we do. We take our shoes off because the sidewalks can be a little bit dicey, especially down here in southern Spain. When we lived in Malaga, they didn't have a lot of parks, and a lot of dogs. So hey, they take the dogs out every morning and do their business around the street. And some people would clean it up. Most people would clean it up, but some people wouldn't. And so we didn't like wearing our shoes inside. And we were that way even when we were in the US. So I do like that.
And some people have it more open, and from there you can enter the other rooms of the house.
This is inside my brother's house where their kids have all their shoes in the front of the home, and everybody wears house shoes. Germans also take their recycling very seriously. This is a compost bag here with eggshells and coffee grounds and avocado peels and probably all sorts of other vegetable peels. In terms of taking recycling very seriously, here is a recycling bag with what they call Wertstoffe. These are plastics that are recyclable, and there is often, depending on where you live, what county you're in, what state you're in, you get these bags, and you can either
take them to a recycling place, and then here's some more recycling, and that lives under the kitchen sink. And you have a bag here. This is one way to collect paper, and I'm sure this is the basket to collect all sorts of glass bottles.
Okay.
What's really fun about this home is I have very similar crates at home. They're very practical. Those are pretty easy to get in the United States. And you not only have your regular open the door like this and tilt it. This is an entire door, if you will, that tilts. But what's even more fun is you can open this entire wing.
Yeah.
And there are some shoes down there, but you can open it and it sits flush against this other one. So you have an entire open room. You can go out to the backyard and there's no door that's swinging or that's in the way. So this is pretty fun about this home that I thought was pretty neat. I wanted to show you. And I am super lucky because today is really nice, warm weather. Sun feels really good on my face. But what's really neat about German backyards is that they're often not necessarily made for entertaining and for representing, but people really sit out there. My mom, anytime there is a ray of sun out there, she goes, oh, I want to have breakfast in my backyard or on her balcony. And people just really sit out in the afternoon in their backyard, in their garden. This one doesn't really have a lot of grassy area because it is one of those row houses, but it's still a very usable backyard.
Oh, that would be nice. I could see that sitting out there. I did see a barbecue grill, so I guess they barbecue there.
And people, like I said, usable. They actually use their backyards all the time. They sit out there, they take a nap out there, and I find in the U.S. often people use their backyards when they have company, but not necessarily for themselves.
Not necessarily related to living, but people in Germany often eat their food from wooden boards rather than plates, which makes cutting and spreading stuff on the bread really easy. I hope you enjoyed this video, this little tour of an inside home, not from a tourist perspective or from a hotel, but from somebody who actually lives inside of these homes. And if you're interested in more about how German homes are different from Americans, I have my viral video right here that I invite you to watch. If in the meantime you...
All right. That was good. That was interesting. I like learning this kind of stuff. So I thought that was a fun little video. Learned a couple things about my German friends. We considered moving there one time, and my son just came back from there visiting his girlfriend, I guess you could say. So he might be moving there one day. So we'll be spending a lot of time in Germany, but not living there. They make it super hard for people to live there, because that was one of the first. That is the first place we looked when we were considering what we're going to do after our visa expired here in Spain. So, but it's super difficult to live there. Anyway, that's besides the point. That was a fun video. Hopefully you liked that reaction there. If you did and you want to see more like it, then subscribe to the channel, man. It's easy and it's free. My name is Greg. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.